Uh, I thought it was fairly pointless exercise, as they were advised yesterday by all the health advisors that there was no point in screening travellers arriving in this country, and I agree with that.
So you don't think it will work?
It won't work because, firstly, they won't know who to screen. They say they're screening people arriving from Sierra Leone, Guinea and Liberia, but there are no direct flights. There haven't been for the last 2 months. So people will be coming from all over Europe, from Brussels, Paris, Amsterdam, Frankfurt. So how are they'll either have to screen everyone or they'll miss some. Secondly, these are healthy people we're talking about, because if you're sick, you're not allowed on the plane to get out of those countries. So imagine you're feeling perfectly well, you arrive at immigration, you're given some form to fill in with a lot of questions. People may not necessarily be very honest in filling them in, especially if they want to get through immigration in a hurry.
Is there any evidence that that screening stops the spread of infectious diseases?
None whatever. No, they talked about it for SARS, and I had a colleague here who is a mathematical modeler who showed it would make no difference at all. But the government doesn't always listen. Screening at airports, I don't think any medical person has supported that. It's purely a government thing. I think the government wanted to be seen to be doing something, so they've done something, but they didn't really think through the reasons for doing it.
I think that would be an overreaction at this stage. The reality is that the risk of somebody coming in is very, very small, somebody with Ebola entering the country. Particularly the risk of somebody entering the country who has symptoms of disease, incredibly small. We're talking about a situation where it will be one individual, possibly two, over an extended period of time, as long as this outbreak occurs. So that would be a huge amount of resources put in place for a very small risk, a very small likelihood that can be picked up. Really, the key thing here is to provide information to people so that they know what to look for and can go and get assistance as soon as they have the first signs of any sort of infection, or if they've come from a risk area. Well, it wouldn't be effective really, because in the first stages of the infection, well, there's two things. The first thing is that the incubation period extends up to 21 days. So if somebody comes in who has Ebola, they could carry that for many days before they present with any symptoms. The chances of them having symptoms while travelling are very, very small. So we wouldn't catch them at the airport. The second thing is that the initial symptoms, which is, if they exhibited anything, is what they'd exhibit, are so general. It's elevated temperature, headaches and so on, that actually on any average flight there's going to be a proportion of people who feel like that anyway. So it would just take a huge amount of resource to check and follow up and try to respond to this. And it really it's unnecessary on the basis of the risk at the moment.